According to Dr. Andrew Huberman, if you breathe through your mouth at night, you are at risk of poor facial development, degraded sleep quality, and maybe even effects to your mental health. But not to worry, because this can all be fixed by one easy solution: mouth tape. I've taped my mouth every night for the past 3 years and have seen improvements in my face and posture, my sleep quality, and my anxiety. Here's what Huberman has to say.
See these people, they're mouth breathers. There's one case of this young girl, she got a pet hamster, I think it was, got an allergy to the hamster, and literally took this beautiful young girl and her face just starts aging at a rapid rate. They get rid of the hamster. She goes back to nasal breathing. They do a little encouragement of nasal breathing using the mouth closure thing at night, do a little bit of medical tape. And like these beautiful, almost like model-esque features come back in this girl.
Researchers have concluded that as you breathe with an open mouth at night, over time it can result in changes in your head and neck posture, which can result in an adenoid face. This type of facial structure is defined by a narrow upper dental arch, poor lip posture, increased facial length, and a slacking jawline. If facial changes were not enough for you, chronic mouth breathing can result in snoring and sleep apnea. The choking that occurs when you have sleep apnea is your body struggling to get rid of CO2, which can result in anxiety. Nose breathing, on the other hand, increases the nitric oxide and oxygen circulation throughout your body. Your nose also acts as a filter for viruses and bacteria in the air, and also a humidifier for the air before it reaches your lungs. So basically, when you're not using your nose, you're missing out on those benefits for 8 hours every night. But if it's so bad for us, why would humans ever mouth breathe in the first place? That is a great question, and there are two main reasons: nasal obstruction and poor jaw development. Nasal obstruction or congestion can be caused by allergies, either environmental or food related, or chronic sinus issues. Huberman also touches on how soft foods lead to poor jaw development in younger children. Now think about what most children are fed, at least in the United States. It's been studied that these soft foods lead to improper upper dental arch development, resulting in a lack of arch space, resulting in crooked teeth, and ultimately the rise of the orthodontics industry. I mean, from an evolutionary standpoint, it doesn't make sense for humans to have ugly, crooked teeth, or for that matter, to be mouth breathers. But the good old agricultural revolution and shift from cartilage to oatmeal for breakfast has most certainly played a part in narrowing our dental arches. If our jaw muscles aren't being used, we don't have a catalyst for a strong jaw to develop. Now, before you go curse out your orthodontist for profiting off this epidemic, you can reverse some of these effects on your own and maybe improve your appearance, sleep, and maybe even mental health. My favorite mouth tape to use is Micropore Medical Tape by 3M. Simply take a 2 to 3 inch piece and place it over your lips before you go to bed. I found rolling in my lips a little bit before I place on the tape helps it not get wet with saliva and stay on throughout the night. And don't worry, it also doesn't hurt to take off. Okay, while it does take 1 to 2 weeks to get used to it, I found that after that period, it feels strange not to wear it and is actually a helpful cue for falling asleep. And when you start mouth taping, you'll notice that you're not getting as thirsty when you wake up. And that's because you've prevented the dehydration that is caused by mouth breathing. Now, if you have smaller nasal passages, you might be worried if you use mouth tape, you're not going to be getting enough oxygen, which is a totally fair concern. And while mouth taping should always be practiced with caution, your nostrils will actually adapt to some degree. I have really tested the limits of this and have worn mouth tape when I am extremely congested. And there have only been a couple times where I was so congested I chose not to wear the mouth tape. But most often I would put it on, and then after a few minutes of deep breathing, my congestion would ease up. And if your body is not getting enough oxygen, you'll know. Along with nightly mouth taping, if you have been a chronic mouth breather, it's also worth reinforcing those new habits by keeping your mouth closed during the day and also strengthening your jaw muscles. Chewing gum helps a lot for this. Any gum works, but a good one is Falim gum. It's pretty much unflavored, but it is harder and therefore provides a better jaw workout than most gums on the market. And if you have a narrow dental arch that caused you to be a mouth breather in the first place, you might want to look into mewing. Mewing refers to proper tongue posture, which over time can help expand your palate. Now, there is limited research on this, but there are plenty of videos about mewing on YouTube. From the ages of 19 to 22, I have essentially reversed the effects of my lifetime of chronic mouth breathing. And no matter what age you are, you can too. James Nestor, the author of Breathe, even reversed some of his mouth breathing effects in middle age. And his book also provides a great history on this entire topic. So for you mouth breathers, the data suggests it's not too late. But the earlier you start, the better. Improving all those aspects of my life with a small piece of tape has been a pretty good deal for me. If you've also been mouth taping, leave a comment below to share your experience, or if you have a question, I'll be happy to answer it. Thanks for watching and consider subscribing to this channel. I'll see you in the next one.